Last summer, a group of friends, Emily, Mark, Jess, and Tyler, decided to go camping deep in the woods. They weren't strangers to the outdoors, but this time they wanted to challenge themselves. No phones, no GPS, just a map and a compass. They found a remote spot, miles from any marked trails, set up their tents, and gathered around the crackling fire as the sun dipped below the horizon. The forest was unnervingly quiet, the kind of silence that makes every rustle seem amplified. By midnight, the group was ready to sleep, but Jessie swore she heard faint voices. Everyone laughed, chalking it up to the wind. But as the hours passed, Emily woke up to what sounded like murmuring outside her tent. Low, indistinct, but undeniably human. She froze, straining to listen, but the sounds faded as quickly as they came. The next morning, Mark noticed something odd. Around their campfire, the dirt was disturbed, like someone had been pacing in circles during the night. They dismissed it as an animal, but unease crept in. That evening, they decided to keep watch in shifts. Tyler took the first, armed with a flashlight and a camping knife. Around 2 a.m., Tyler shook Emily awake. His face was pale, and his hands trembled. "There's someone out there," he whispered. "I saw a movement, like a person, but they're staying just out of the light." The group huddled together, clutching whatever they could use as weapons. The fire flickered weakly, and the woods seemed alive with movement, shadows darting just beyond their vision. Then came the whistling, soft and deliberate. It circled the camp, getting closer and closer. Jess grabbed the flashlight and aimed it toward the sound. The beam landed on a figure, a man in filthy, torn clothes, his face hidden beneath a hood. He didn't flinch, didn't move, just stood there, staring. Mark shouted, "What do you want?" But the man didn't respond. He turned and walked silently into the trees, disappearing into the darkness. They sat in stunned silence, unsure of what to do. Tyler finally broke the silence. "We're not staying here another night." Everyone nodded, too shaken to argue. As they began packing up, they realized something horrifying. Their backpacks had been opened and rifled through. Nothing was stolen, but items were rearranged in unsettling ways. A can of beans placed upright in the center of the camp. Emily's journal open to a blank page. A single knife stabbed into the dirt. It felt like a warning. They extinguished the fire and started hiking back in the pitch dark, their flashlights barely cutting through the oppressive blackness. The trail felt longer than before, and the eerie silence was now broken by the occasional snap of a branch or a rustle in the bushes. They didn't speak, their fear choking any words they might have formed. Then, just as they thought they were nearing the trailhead, they saw it. A faint light ahead, flickering like a lantern. They followed the light for what felt like an eternity until it suddenly stopped. When they reached the spot, their blood ran cold. It wasn't a lantern. It was their campfire, fully lit, with their tents set up exactly as they had left them. Jess screamed and Tyler bolted. The others followed, adrenaline driving their legs as they tore through the forest. They didn't stop until they saw the faint glimmer of dawn in the parking lot beyond the trees. Their car was still there, but the tires had been slashed, and the windshield was smeared with muddy handprints. They never spoke about the trip again, but sometimes, in the dead of night, Emily swore she could still hear the faint sound of whistling outside her window.